But the Parikrama party, led by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, continued in good spirits despite the animosity, and on October 28th, the party arrived at Kosi, the site of the treasury of Krishna's father, King Anand. So now we will continue. Yes, Sanjay Prabhu. Okay, thank you. So we will continue now. Abhay arrived in Mathura by train from Allahabad and approached Koshi by rickshaw. The countryside was full of charm for Abhay. Instead of factories and large buildings, there were mostly forests. And aside from the main paved road on which he traveled, there were only dirt roads and soft sandy lanes. How natural it is, now. The city of Houston, if you are building something, they want to know the impervious areas that the water should sink into the earth. Over there was no concrete road, so everything was so nice. As a Vaishnava, Abhay felt sensation an ordinary man wouldn't. Now and then he sighted a peacock in the field, its exotic plumage proclaiming the glories of Vrindavan and Krishna. Even a non-devotee, however, could appreciate the many varieties of birds, their interesting cries and songs filling the air. Occasionally, a tree would be filled with madly chirping sparrows, making that urgent twilight clamor before resting for the night. Even one unaware of a special significance of Vrindavan could feel a relief of mind in this simple countryside where people built fires from cow manure fuel and cooked their evening meals in the open, the fire adding rich, natural smell to the indefinable mixture which was the order of the earth. How natural life was. There were many planted old trees and colorful stretches of flowers, bushes of bright violet camellia, trees abloom with delicate white parijat blossoms, and big yellow kadamba flowers rarely seen outside of Vrindavan. On the road, there were lively horse-drawn tanga traffic. The month of Kartik, October-November, was one of the several times of the year that drew many pilgrims to Vrindavan. The one-horse tangas carried large families, some coming from hundreds of miles away. Larger bands of pilgrims, grouped by village, walked together. The women dressed in a bright colored saris, brown-skinned men and women, sometimes singing bhajans, carrying but a few simple possessions as they headed for the town of thousands of temples in Vrindavan. And there were businessmen like Abhay, dressed more formally, coming from a city, maybe to spend the weekend. Most of them have at least some semblance of a religious motive: to see Krishna in the temple, to bathe in the holy Yamuna river, and to visit the sites where Lord Krishna had performed his wonderful pastime, such as lifting of the Govardhan hill, killing of the Kesi demon, or the dancing in the evening with the gopis. Abhay was sensitive to the atmosphere of Vrindavan and he noted the activity along the road. But more than that, he cherished with anticipation the fulfillment of his journey, his meeting again after a long separation, the saintly person he had always thought of within himself. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, who had spoken to him in Calcutta and had convinced him of Lord Chaitanya's mission to preach Krishna consciousness. Abhay would soon see him again, and this purpose filled his mind. It's the same thing Brajvasis, Prabhupada is also contemplating what is going to happen. Then they observe when the activity is happening. And when the activity is finished, then they will remember by speaking to someone what happened. This is the way they absorb their mind and heart. Upon reaching the lantern-illuminated camp of Gaudiya Math and inquiring at the registration post, he was allowed to join the Parikrama village. He was assigned to tent of Grahastha men and was offered prasadam. The people were friendly and in good spirits, and Abhay talked of his activities with the Math members in Calcutta and Allahabad. Then there was a gathering. A sannyasi was making an announcement. This evening, he said, there would be scheduled visit to a nearby temple to see the deity of Sesasai Vishnu. Sesasai Vishnu is I think on the Brajapal Mandala Parikrama, that's the longest day. Some of the pilgrims cheered, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. And sannyasi also announced that His Divine Grace, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, would speak that evening for the last time and would be leaving the Parikrama party the next day. So there was a choice of going on the Parikrama or staying for the lecture. Srila Prabhupada, on his own words, described as follows. So I met them in Koshi, and Kesava Maharaj was informing that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta is going to Mathura tomorrow morning, and he will speak Harikatha this evening. Anyone who wants to may remain, or otherwise they may go to see Sesasai Vishnu. So at that time, I think only 10 or 12 men remained. Sridhar Maharaj was one of them. And I thought it wise, quote, what can I see at this Sesasai? Let me hear what Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati will speak. Let me hear, unquote. When Abhay arrived, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta was already speaking. He sat with his back erect, a shawl around his shoulder, not speaking like a professional lecturer, giving a scheduled performance, but addressing a small gathering in his room. At last, Abhay was in his presence again. Abhay marveled to see and hear him. This unique soul possessed of Krishna Katha, speaking uninterruptedly about Krishna in his deep, low voice, in ecstasy and deep knowledge. Abhay sat and heard with rapt attention. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati had been speaking regularly about Sabandha, Abhideya and Prayojana. Sabandha is the stage of devotional service in which awareness of God is awakened. Abhidya is rendering loving service to the Lord, and Prayojana is the ultimate goal, pure love of God. He stressed that his explanation were in exact recapitulation of what had originally been spoken by Krishna and passed down through disciplic succession. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's particular utterance, mostly Bengali, but sometimes English, with frequent quoting of Sanskrit from the Shastras, were deep with erudition. Quote, it is Krishna, unquote, said Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, who is the only super lord over the entire universe and beyond it of Vaikuntha, the transcendental region. As such, no one can raise any obstacle against his enjoyment. An hour went by, 2 hours went by. The already small gathering in Srila Bhaktisiddhanta's room gradually thinned. A few sannyasi left, excusing themselves to tend to duties connected with the parikrama camp. Only a few intimate leaders remained. Abhay was the only outsider. Of course, he was a devotee, not an outsider, but in the sense that he was not a sannyasi, was not handling any duties, was not even initiated, and was not traveling with the parikrama, but had joined only for a day. In that sense, he was an outsider. The philosophy Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was speaking, however, was democratically open to whoever would give an ardent hearing, and that Abhay was doing. So I think the time has come. We should be punctual. The devotees who has to perform other duties, they are most welcome to leave. And the devotees who are fortunate enough to spend more time, to stay a little longer and chant the holy name. So before they go, let's offer our humble obeisances to the task of these wonderful devotees. Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripa sindhu bhaya vacha patitanam